Alright, so hello and welcome to today's stream. I hope everything is working as it should, except the sound, which is still not correctly working on what I wanted it to work. Actually, hold on, let's try like one more thing. Okay, so that works. That thing is a default works, but setting it to the actual output that I wanna use doesn't want to work. Okay. Right, I'm gonna keep it like this then, so hopefully everything's gonna be alright. So, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna be hopefully doing a little bit of building in trains. Now you may notice this is not the Black Run River Railway. This is neither Central Europe. And as if you have been watching the intro, then yeah. I think you have a pretty vague idea that this might be actually Japan. I know I'm starting new projects over all the time, left and right, but yeah, that's generally how route creation works. But this time with this actually maybe having a successful rate at being finished, considering the fact of how much stuff has been actually built. So yeah, I don't know why this guy stopped. Yeah, because junction. Okay, so I've had that thing there. Well, I'm gonna be switching to the surveyor anyways, but just to give you guys an idea of what has been built so far. And yeah, this is basically a fictional representation of what the Japanese Shinkansen is like. A fictional representation. I'm gonna repeat that. So don't expect anything like, oh hey, 1-to-1 scale. No. So that was Fukushima. Basically now rebranded into its fictional name of Fujitama. I will be following the general track layout, at least a little bit. Or maybe not, I don't know yet. But the number of stations that are between the different cities is going to remain the same as in real life. Station designs are definitely going to be fictional, but trying to follow some of the basic standards on the Shinkansen lines in real life. And yeah, hopefully, well, I really hope that this route will not end up as a failure, because you may have noticed one thing already when it comes. It's like normally when you have all the trains, you know, they have that little nauseating thing on them in the newer games. And you now might realize that, oh hey, that's the swaying, right? Yes, it's the swaying. And you may have probably already noticed that it kind of doesn't exist. So what happened? Well, let me guide you through the experimentation that I've done and the way I figured out how to basically make high-speed train lines in new games again. So let's go to the surveyor. And yeah, hello Brent, welcome to the stream. So, just to take you to the very beginning of everything, of how this came to be, I'm going to switch to my testing track. It was here where I tested different tracks with different high-speed trains and how they behaved, because I remembered that when I was driving in Central Europe, generally not all of the tracks used actually made the train sway. So I looked deeper into it. I lined up different tracks. You can see here all the kinds of different tracks. Older tracks, new tracks, random tracks, and stuff like that. And so I went into the testing, right? I lined them all next to each other, all the different types that I know that would look at least somewhat good on a high-speed line. And ones that are like different from each other. Single tracks, double tracks with catenary, stuff like that. Just line them all, cross them in a figure 8 layout. Place the trains down and run them at full speed. So, and that's basically when it hit me that these particular tracks, some of them that you see here, or actually most of them that you see here, they do not create any sway on the trains. And as I've said, I've noticed this back on Central Europe as well, because we are using those tracks, at least the tracks from the similar, well, not similar, but from the same outer. So all tracks, all the new tracks made by Sampler disable the swaying effect on all trains. And when I figured that out, and then confirmed it here, with actually running these trains, I realized that making a high-speed train route in the new games is possible. Every single train has absolutely no sway on Sampler's tracks. And that's how the new Japanese project has been created. So yeah, the fictional Japanese Shinkansen. I butchered that name because haha Tongober. So yeah, hello Shared Eyes. You won't be able to stay long, but I will be back later. Alright, it's okay. That was basically just the intro anyways, and you've already heard me talking and mentioning it earlier on your Discord and other Discords as well. But generally, the idea remains. So, yeah, we can make anything in the new games still, which is amazing. So, you saw a little bit of there, like the city that I've done and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that me and Brent have been kind of like working on this route. The basic idea of where we want to run the trains, how we want the lines to go, and what actually will be included. So, as a first kind of like test to all this, we basically kind of had to pinpoint the line we actually want to create. So, let me show you. We've decided to focus our eyes on the Tohoku Shinkansen, located on the east coast of Japan. Now Brand, he is working on the Shinkansen line from Akita to Morioka as of now, with later expanding up to Aomori. I, on the other hand, am working on a line from Fukushima to Morioka. So basically like the southern portion of the line. I'm not going to be building Yamagata Shinkansen as of yet. Neither the line to Tokyo. So from this point, hold on, I cannot, I cannot zoom in more. Okay, so basically, should be here. It's not okay. I wish I could like pinpoint it more, but I guess not. Hold on. I got it. All right. So, thank you. So making our way from Fukushima, which has now been rebranded to Fujitama instead, even though Mount Fuji is somewhere completely opposite of everything. But yeah, we're gonna be heading from Fukushima north to Morioka. The amount of station is gonna stay the same. So there's gonna be a fictional name for, sorry for the pronouncing, but Shiroi Shizao, Sendai, Furukawa, Kurikoma Kogen, Ichinoseki, Mizusawa Esashi, Kitakami, Shin Hanamaki, and Morioka, with Brand working from Morioka to Akita, and maybe all the way to Shin Aomori. There is an idea to have the Shinkansen built all the way to Hokkaido Island. Quite possibly also the planned expansion up to Sapporo. And if everything will be right, we could potentially replicate the entire network, which would be neat. Not gonna lie, would be really fucking neat. But we firstly want to actually test how well this will perform. That's why we're basically firstly building this stretch of the rail line. So yeah, let's actually get into the building now, shall we? Or shall I actually? Nice place for a city. Oh, I mean, this one in between the mountains? Yeah, definitely. I really like that. So that's the Shiroi Shizao station, which has now been renamed to Shizuiramai instead. There are some names prepared for places along the line, so it's gonna be nice, and we're basically like making this as we go, with the next station being Shimatori or Sendai. Now the track going in there, it's gonna go mostly through mountains. I'm gonna try and put in some gradients as well, and hopefully reach Sendai without any trouble within a few days. So yeah, at what scale are you making this route? There particularly isn't any scale. What we are doing is just like basically making our own free based depiction of the Shinkansen. As I mentioned, it's fictional, so none of the actual like distances between the stations are like any scaled down. At least on my end, not. I don't know about Brand, but yeah, on my side, it's not going to be not gonna have any kind of particular scale, and I plan on having some of the stations fairly close sometimes as well. As you can see now with Fukushima, or actually Fujitama, and Shizuiramai. Yeah. Do the names you come up with actually mean something Japanese? I have no idea. I haven't looked in that, and I'm using a name generator to get the Japanese names, and I refresh the generator until I get something that starts at least with the similar letters as the original name. So that's why Fukushima is Fujitama. So yeah, what I will be doing mostly today is the terrain. So I need to line the hills to be a little bit closer to the actual Shinkansen line itself, so that I can squeeze some nature into this as well and hopefully begin some work on the gradients along the line. That's my plan for this. Now I'm not gonna be very much going into like details and stuff, considering the fact that you will be zooming past all this scenery at over 300 kilometers per hour. And just for if there are any American viewers, I'm going to convert that into imperial units, which is speeds more than 186 miles per hour. About 3 times faster than the average speed of the Acela Express, which the Americans like to call high-speed train. But yeah, the entire world is calling it a high-speed failure. Anyways, it's going to be mildly merged with like some of the Chinese high-speed infrastructure that I'm like taking inspiration from as well. Some station design might end up like that. Some bridge designs as well. So far I've been keeping it on the ground, but I definitely want to elevate the tracks a lot. And not only like by having a gradient, but maybe sinking the ground below the 0 level as well. Or perhaps maybe utilizing one of my DMs as well for this. Because this does have quite the opportunity to create something interesting. Anyways, I'm going to smooth some of the hills over here out so that the slope is not that big. And I'm going to place down some gentle fields. Hopefully, it's going to look good. Now, as I said, I want to merge in like some of the Chinese infrastructure, and I also think that I'm gonna like merge in some of like Chinese styled farms, or maybe like generally what you could find in the Himalayas, because I really like that region. I'm gonna be trying to replicate at least a little bit of the stuff here. It's not purely like Japanese only stuff, but most of it is going to be Japanese stuff, including the trains only, because we do not have any Chinese nor Taiwanese high-speed trains. Although Taiwan is using the Japanese Shinkansen, at least the modified versions of those trains. However, those trains do not exist on the DLS, therefore we will not be making anything resembling the Taiwan high-speed line. If there were the Taiwanese trains, I would assume that we would probably start with the actual testing stuff by making an enclosed circle high-speed line on the island of Taiwan. And we could possibly also replicate that in quite a nice scale if we wanted to, because after all it's not really that big, and the amount of stations would be also quite nice, sort of like a testing ground. But yeah, we've decided to actually just go for this line instead, considering the Shinkansen trains that are available to us. Most namely, the Akita Shinkansen. So, the red Shinkansens that you may have seen in the intro, those are the Akita Shinkansens. We have them we want to use them, because the Akita Shinkansen is most likely the most interesting Shinkansen line in Japan. Now, I would like to talk about it, but I know I will get something wrong. So, if Brand wants to explain it in the chat, at least a little bit of considering when it comes to Akita Shinkansen, the line that he is working on, then yeah, you may go out. Type out. I'm not in the voice channel with him, just to save at least the last little speck of internet that I have. So yeah, let me read the chat now. Imagine if someone did that only in reverse, so they use an English name generator and they get names like Flower Crab style. Yeah, interesting. Did you know that tigers and polar bears are one of the only animals that actually see humans as prey items and will actively hunt them, not just opportunistically, like say lions or wolves? Okay, that's an interesting fact. At least I now know what I have to actively avoid. Yeah. Imagine having a Steam Day special on this map. Well, we don't have any standard gauge steamers when it comes to Japan, mainly for the fact that up until Shinkansen was built, there pretty much wasn't any standard gauge line on the entirety of Japanese islands. It was all narrow gauge. Yeah. Where all the Shinkansens will have to overtake it. Would be nice. Is Brand here? Well, he was in the beginning. I'm not sure if he is here anymore. Say it like that. But if he isn't, then I'm just going to basically summarize the Akita Shinkansen. Now, the line basically runs merged with the normal regional trains. Now you may be wondering like, oh, okay, so another standard gauge line. No. The Akita Shinkansen runs alongside Japanese narrow gauge regional lines, stopping only at few stations. Meanwhile, the narrow gauge lines very often actually intersect the Akita Shinkansen line in overtake areas and stations along the line, which is very interesting and cool design generally on all of this. Now, you may know that this is not the only time where the Shinkansen actually meets the narrow gauge lines in this kind of manner. I believe there's also a bridge as well. And I'm not really sure on the location of that and nor the way how that one particularly works, but I know the tunnel that connects the main Japanese island with Hokkaido does run both narrow gauge and standard gauge, meaning regional trains and Shinkansens, through the same tracks, so to say. Which is very interesting design. The tunnel construction basically started in 1964. The same year the first Shinkansen line was opened between Tokyo and Osaka. And I believe the tunnel was finished only recently, in like 2014 or somewhere around that year. I'm not really sure on that, on the date there precisely, but I believe it was fairly recently. That's why if you even rewind back to the map that I showed, the Shinkansen lines over through Hokkaido are still not finished and are still basically in construction and planning stages. So, yeah, the speed limit in the tunnel is limited to 160 kilometers per hour. Now, the Akita Shinkansen itself and the Yamagata Shinkansen lines are quite possibly the slowest Shinkansen lines, because the maximum speed on the Yamagata line is 130 kilometers per hour, and I don't know the highest speed on the Akita Shinkansen, or well, the lowest speed. But judging from the way it looks and the way it works, I would guess that the traveling speeds on the Akita Shinkansen are not really high either. Now there's a lot of additional stuff to this that I'm not really gonna go into, because I would just end up rambling about it for way too long and forgetting to end the stream, that is. Because I know I would talk about it for ages. But yeah, there's actually some preparation getting done for this route as a whole. So yeah, I believe now that I've basically gone around the corner here, and I'm basically hidden from the eyes of the city down there, what I could do is start some gradient on the tracks, considering that I would like to run it through some tunnels and some bridges as well. Make the ride more interesting, not just boring constantly. So, let me finish off this hole here. I'm gonna read the chat, and then I'm gonna try to do some more work on generally having an idea of what the fuck I'm doing. Because I've been just talking here and I have genuinely no idea of what I wanna do next. So let me read the chat and rethink my life. So yeah. You could substitute a Chinese logo for it. Here in the UK we sometimes have USA steamers. Well, I could, but there aren't Chinese steamers on the DLS either, so that wouldn't work. Save please. Oh yeah, that's a good thing to do. Might as well. Say hello, Kango. Gonna have to head off soon, but I'll return later on. Alright. You do have to go away to come back. In this context, head off is referring to going away. Alright. The A for Mallard went over 202 kilometers per hour. Yeah. 1936, I believe. So, does this line actually climb a hill mountain, or is it only going through the valley basis? It's gonna climb through some hills and mountains, so yeah. Sorry about that interruption. My parents walked in, so yeah. Right. Because apparently the I'm streaming, do not enter sign is nothing. Anyways, alright, right, let's finish reading the chat. So does this one actually climb the hill mountain, or is it going through the valley bases? It's going to climb the hills and mountains, so yeah. I'm interested in that as well. You can do those things simultaneously, read chat and reading live. I see. Yeah, I to myself there. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Alright. So yeah. Now that I'm basically gone from the eyes of the god there, I'm gonna start is, well, I want to align this appropriately and correctly, that is as well. Make tracks climb. Not such a big gradient either. Start something to start off with. I'm going to straighten this. Get the right. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna gradually make the climb actually be steeper and steeper. As I'm gonna go, have the tracks enter a tunnel over here in this area. That's 50 meters of height there. That's nice. Very nice. This will change some of the traveling style up a little bit, and also allow me to use higher grounds when it comes to the terrain, meaning I can make better hills and mountains around the place. And then just I'm going to align this one. Nice. Yeah. Now for the fun part. I'm actually gonna have to this on the catenary wires here. They don't stick to their current elevation, but stick to the track elevation instead. Now, the way I'm gonna be building this is firstly doing the terrain and then adding the and then aligning the terrain up. So yeah. Now that I'm basically gone from the eyes of the god there, is always the start of the best sentences. Don't you think? Yeah, I do think. What is the signal interval? I saw some invisible signals. I'm trying to keep it at a reasonable pace of 1 kilometer. But I know that I'm not keeping that. At least not in some places. I don't know. I'm eyeballing it, so to say. Yeah. Might allow me to actually do a little bit nicer side of the valley here. I really want to experiment around with some of the terrain here and do some interesting stuff. Just going to line it close to the Shinkansen, but not like directly under the tracks. Put it in just enough of the way. I'm going to align the terrain later. Yeah. First I do the sides of the valley here. Climbs up. Just like that, nice and easy, nice and smoothly. Get it a little bit nicer. Coolio, Udio. Nice. Now since this is a valley, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a river in here. as well on the other side of the tracks over here. A river that will basically go underground where the city is, basically covering it up. The way the embankment is going to work is kind of more of like a concrete mix, but I do want the terrain itself to be like directly under it, just for the catenary, because I'm too lazy to manually align it with the tracks here. Yeah, this is not as a passionate project as Central Europe, so I'm not really going to be putting the maximum of effort into it, but still enough to make this look good and work. Basically just a testing route, and if it will work out, then I might do a little bit more side projects when it comes to like generally the high-speed lines and stuff. I think that would be nice. So yeah. Now I'm gonna do this here instead. Flatten the terrain to this height. This. Okay. And just to be able to make a bit more of the mountain, I'm gonna do this, and because I fucked up my design of terrain, I'm gonna do that. Cut it off like that. And remake this line to be straight again. Fill up the hole in here, like this, and read the chat. I forgot to ask, how is everyone today? How are you, Psych? I'm doing alright today, so I'm happy about that. Glad that my chair is comfortable. Nice. Alright, I'm going to have to head off now. See you later, Slovak. Enjoy Shinkansen. Alright, see, I can go. Alright. So let's get this smoothed out. This is how I do my terrain pretty much all the time, and it's working out. It's not too good, it's not too bad. But yeah, if you don't want to play around with DMs, then doing it by hand is the only thing you have, and yeah, that's how you get your skills. That's how you get the hand movements, finger movements, generally skills on this without building. Fill up the hole like that. Easy. Edge. Smooth out the initial drop and then connect it up. I'm using the plateau tool for this, which works perfectly as a smoothing tool if you know how to use it. If you're not lazy and if you're willing to learn on how to actually use this game. I'm not saying that I know everything. I'm just saying that if you're willing to learn, then you will eventually learn everything. And even if you know that you've learned everything, you haven't. There's so many functions to this game. It's unbelievable. Despite being such a small game as well. There's a lot to it. So, anyway. Looks good. That's one side done. When it comes to the trees themselves, not really sure on how I'm gonna be doing that. But I know for a fact that I'm gonna do this here now. Okay, taller mountains, taller hills. Yes. See, so I'll be back later. Alright, see ya, Paradise as well. So, out this a little bit so it doesn't look so bad. And lower this side here a little bit. So when looking from here, it actually looks like it has a back side as well. Oh man, I've been working on the terrain for quite a time now. I'm gonna texture this up. To give me an idea of how the area actually looks. It's fairly good. Like this. I like the way that this is working out. I'm almost at the tunnel as well. At least on this side of the tracks. So as I was saying, on this other side, I want to have the river going through here. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, but let's actually I need to do some preparations, but I need to end the city as well over here. At least a little bit. So let's still take this, take the buildings, and I'm going to start spamming them around here a little bit. Like cover it up a little along the valley here. But yeah, I generally don't want any houses on the hills because that would be just way too much work to try and fix up their positions and whatnot. So I'm just gonna delete the ones that managed to get on the hillside there. Not all of them, but mostly the ones that are like higher up gonna be removed. Gonna also have to be removing them from the tracks themselves, obviously. Yeah, now what's the rule that I'm going by as of now to like know where I have to remove them? Basically so that the underside will not be visible when you will be traveling through here from the cab view. So yeah, I'm gonna now move the buildings out of the way. And I'm not going to be deleting them, I'm just going to move them away a little bit to give more of a dense area feeling. Actually, I might delete some of them when there will be too many. There already might be. I will see about it. But yeah, just moving them out and around little trees so that they don't clip through the walls. Buildings same. I should have actually placed the sound barriers first here so I know how much I have to move them. I'm gonna do that. Can I move somewhere here? That would be a nice position over there. Good. Right. Do this. So I'm gonna line the sound barrier to, yeah, some place. Most likely to here, and then just cut it where I need to. Probably here like this. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Means I'm gonna take the other side over here. This, oh, you can see it. Nice. Get it over here as well. The hill generally starts here. From this point out, from that starting position of the walls, the city, these buildings, or at least where the roads should be for them, should not be visible. I have to be able to hide them behind trees and bushes in the area. So yeah, I'm gonna, as I said, have some kind of like farmlands over here on the side of the hill. Not sure if I'm gonna be doing that on the stream or off the stream, because I'm not sure if I have the appropriate assets to do it, and searching for them would take too long to be done. And that is generally like the biggest reason why I don't stream certain things from the route and stuff, because I don't have the objects that I want to use. So the areas that I want to build on stream, but I know that I don't have the objects for yet, I just avoid them, and sometimes get to them on the stream if they're not that important. But if it's quite an important section and I need to build it before I move on past it, then I will build it off stream so as to make sure that I have a good progress rate on the route without losing time for no reason whatsoever. So yeah, that's why on one stream you see that I ended in place A, and suddenly the next stream I'm like 10 kilometers on a completely different new section that was built off the stream. Generally this is going nicely so far, so I'm very happy about this. The internet is holding out as well. That's good. I'm really happy about that as well. It's actually working. Can place a bit more buildings over on this hill. It's not so steep over here, and it can look quite good. Well, so I'm just trying to like space the buildings out appropriately so that it doesn't look awfully bad. I want to make it look very congested, but not like so that the player will be able to see the buildings like intersecting or floating. So I'm generally just trying to follow this valley, this base of the mountains. Yeah, this actually gives me quite a lot of skill preparation for when I will be building Switzerland and Austria on Central Europe, which I definitely have to move my work on because of the fact that, well, Germany was supposed to exist in the game a year ago, but we never got there because one of the members basically quit. Not to mention that generally the entire route idea has shifted since then, meaning that, yeah, things have to be redone completely when it comes to the planning for Central Europe. However, we are still gaining more and more people into the project, which I'm really happy about. People who are very helpful and willing to do things. I'm really happy about that. Gaining more traction as well. Yeah, it's generally nice. It's nice. Now what about some other stuff? For example, Eagleville, the little European narrow gauge. Well, I still do have plans for that. Don't worry, it will be worked on when I will be in the mood. Because the thing like is, Eagleville requires a lot of detail to be placed. Because the way that route is made is completely different from all the other stuff that I've been ever building. I've normally been like a lazy builder and just hiding stuff behind walls and stuff and such, you know. But with Eagleville, it's like completely different design where I'm actually going into like the detail and trying to make it be that way the entire time. Hence why that one baseboard itself took 1 week to make. But then again, it started off as a challenge, building challenge, so yeah. Well, that's nice one here. I like this. It's turned out quite nicely. So what I'm gonna do here now is I'm just gonna line it with the ballast texture. At least so it fits between. Oh hey, there's a tree I missed. Okay, I missed quite some stuff here. I have to fix that. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't remember what I was saying now. Got some trees still blocking the way. No big deal. Just move them. So I'm just gonna do the ballast over here, fit between the walls. Anything in the chat? No. Nothing in the chat. It's been 55 minutes. I'm not even in like big stream mood today either. I don't know how long I'll be keeping this stream on for. Probably not too much. I would just wanted to like showcase this more or less. But yeah, the way that I was gonna be developed is pretty much just Well, it's not an official project. It's just a test, and I'm not really like sure it will be finished when it comes like to this Japanese route. But yeah, if it will work, then I really would like to see more high-speed routes pop up on the DLS again as well. Maybe a rework of Electro Island for TRS19. That would be nice. Considering that fact, yeah, Electro Island itself would need a lot of rework as well. It's quite a shitty route, but man, it was very well done when it comes to some parts. But yeah, um, this is nice. This is gonna be very interesting to drive in. Not to mention that my throat is killing me as well. That's nice. So yeah. Um, right. I should probably do this side of the hill now, or this side of the valley actually. The correct statement. So as I said, I want this to be a bit smoother. So I'm gonna push this side a little bit further away, and as the tracks rise, I'm gonna like occasionally bring it a bit closer to make a little bit of like interesting effect on the tracks with the terrain. But yeah, I still have to try and fit the river in here somewhere, somehow. So it's gonna be interesting to try and figure. But yeah, generally the shape of terrain here will allow for quite a nice river without having to do too much terraforming in the area. Gonna run quite close to the Shinkansen as well. Gonna be nice. Meaning I'll probably have to do some few lakes around place. Maybe. This is constantly going downhill anyways. Maybe having like a nicer waterfall kind of like thing over here. Place. Smooth the terrain over here out again. Like that. Into the line a little bit. I will be adjusting terrain for it later. Okay, yeah. I don't know how much longer I will be able to hold the stream because of, yeah, my throat starting to kill me now because of the talking. And at least the internet is not deteriorating, so that's good. Welcome back, Shared Ice, and yeah, that guy has been banned. Alright, so yeah, let's figure this out. As I said, it's gonna be much smoother. I'm gonna do the river basin in this area. So I'm gonna actually like dig out the hole over here. These places. I can actually sink it under the water there. Underground. Below the village. But yeah. This is quite an interesting way of building this as well, because normally you would have something like this on a bridge, with the houses being much below. But yeah, not here, not with me. So I'm gonna have to like bring in the taller part of the hill at some places and get it further away from the tracks at other places. This is definitely going to be quite a bottleneck on the terrain over here. That's gonna be interesting to try and work out here. This is going to be the steeper part of this all. It will give a nice break to the terrain. There's gonna be some farms over here. I still can't figure out their name. And yeah, then there's gonna be a bit of forest, maybe cliffs over here. Train zooms past. And a bit more farms over here. Then the tunnel up there. There's gonna be a nice and interesting thing to do. I really can't wait. I would love to at least reach Sendai. So if I ever like lose motivation on building this, I at least want to reach Sendai so that we can at least test and play on at least some kind of a line from Fukushima to Sendai with like one station in the middle. I know not great, but at the same time not terrible. So in case I lose motivation, and I'm not saying I will, but at the same time I'm not saying I won't. I want to reach at least Sendai so that it is playable and it's actually something from this route. That's my own personal goal for this. I'm not promising anything either though. But yeah, I would actually love to prove myself already. So yeah. And I definitely need to start releasing more projects onto the DLS of mine. So yeah, I definitely wanna finish this. Okay, hold on, let me like try to borrow this height and do the craziest bullshit ever. Plop. That is actually going to work. Neat. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna try and smooth it out over here as much as I can. So that I can still fit in some farms. A little bit of forest on the top here. I think that would look the best. And then yeah, bringing this a bit closer again. This time not as much height. I know the terrain is very weird and I'm not questioning it. So I would like if you wouldn't question it either. Because yeah, it's just, yeah. I'm not going by anything really, I'm not putting that much effort into it, so yeah. I'm just making stuff from my mind as I'm going along. Put it like that. As I said earlier, I have quite a few DEM of other places that I could utilize for something like this. So yeah, if this will be a success on my end, I will do more high-speed routes. So yeah. Also save, yeah, definitely I should save. I haven't saved in quite a while. My throat really wants to die today. Neat. Just to align the terrain a little bit. Going to work on that later as well. Get the terrain up until now. Yeah, the terrain generally I'm going to take more work on it. Yeah, I don't really mind like the edges over here poking because I know it's going to be hidden behind trees anyways. So, as I've said before, I would like to have this as a embankment kind of like stuff, concrete embankment. So I'm going to try and work it out so it looks good. Same time, no, this is not going to work. This doesn't look nice. So I'm gonna end it there, somewhere about there. Yes, good, like this. Right, what I'm gonna do now is something absolutely idiotic, but it's going to work. First of all, you can end. Second of all, you can also end. And third of all, you can start. So minus 0.91. I think that's the, yep, that's the height. No, it's not that one. The super elevation will fuck it up. So 94, yeah, that's the one. Okay, good. Fuck. Right. That is straightened then, so that's good. Let me take this out a little bit like there. Like create a gradual transition for the spline to disappear, like that. All right, and over here, begin to basically exist. Now, the biggest problem with this is gonna be the fact that yeah, the way tracks are done along with the entire terrain, meaning, actually, hold on, up to here, meaning I'm gonna have to manually adjust the height of spline in. Fuck. So they connect, they actually do connect. Well, shit, that's fuck. That calls for a shift holding. (0.95) or minus 0.94 is my goal for this, so I'm gonna, yeah, 95. Okay, it's awfully low. I don't like it. Well, thank you for creating yourself. Just a little bit, thank you. Much, okay, good. No, there's no spline there, so however there is a spline point here. Now this is one long spline, so yeah, be alright. I'm gonna actually plop one of them down here, this, and get the height at 4, and which one is them? Oh, this one. So align and raise. 92, yeah, that's good. Right? No, it's not, because there's the fucking track there and it's super elevated as well. So I actually have to keep it at 94 down. Good. Meaning this one has to go down as well. Or good. Nice. What about the chat? Are there any of the not trainable tracks seasonal? unfortunately no. However, Sampler is very open to the uh, um, to other people basically modifying his assets as long as they ask for permission. So being able to like actually make them seasonal is possible as long as you ask for permission and get the textures going by yourself. So yeah, the grass texture you're using does not look like a single texture, it's barely tiling. Well, it is a single texture, so yeah. It's very nice. It's very nicely done. I wish that the copying and pasting of session rules worked for me, but it doesn't. Oh? So you cannot just like open one session, do a Control C on them, and then go to another session and Control V. Interesting. Oh, someone please tell me. Am I back? I don't know. Are you? I can go. I think you might be. Has trains ever crashed on stream for you? Oh, that's a question. I'm not sure, but I don't think it did. Which makes me really happy. Anyways, right. Let's see here. Definitely gonna have to do more terrain here, which yeah, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for now. I've been doing terrain for so long. It's not fun. I could do the trees, but at the same time I don't really have a selection of trees to use. So what do you guys think? Should I give it a test drive? I think I am. Alright, nice. Hello. Now if I select Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, it just does nothing. It's the same for copying text out of trains, it just doesn't work on Mac. Oh, I see. I see. The session rule. Test drive. Alright. Yeah, I didn't really show the trains that run on the line. I'm gonna be spawning them accordingly as I'm gonna be letting them out of the depot. Let's go for the test drive. So let's save them. Go to kilometers per hour. Now I'm gonna set them all to auto drive. I'm gonna start setting them off into the line. This is the N700 Railstar. This one does not operate on the line we're building, but I like the design, it's very nice. Let's go with this one. Oh man. This one has the weird name. As it leaves, you can watch it. This one is where's the line? Where's the name of the line? Oh yeah, I see them. So these guys operate the Hayabusa and Hayate Shinkansens. At least that's the green ones. Those are the Hayabusa and Hayate Shinkansens. The red ones are the Akita Shinkansen. Now they run coupled up. Okay. What do you mean you can barely hear me? Is it really that bad? Oh yeah, hold on. Actually, I see the problem now. Hold on, because I have it on 20% instead of 7%. All right, so this should be much better now. So yeah, I don't know how much of you called it, but yeah, the first train, that was the N700 Shinkansen. It does not operate on the lines we are building. This is the E5. It operates the Hayabusa and Hayate Shinkansen lines on the Tohoku Shinkansen. And this is the Akita Shinkansen. They run together out of Tokyo, and then they split in Sendai and Morioka, as far as I understand it. So some of the trains split in Sendai, some of the trains split in Morioka. The red one is the one that branches off onto the Akita Shinkansen. Meanwhile, the green one continues to Shin Aomori. And I believe all the way up to Hokkaido Island, but I'm not really sure on that. Okay. Let's continue this. So this is the E4 Shinkansen, called Max. I believe it operates only on one line. That might be at least a little bit representable in what we are building. And that is the line from Tokyo to Fukushima. At least that's from what we can figure out from one of the maps. Or actually not even that. I'm looking on, yeah, we found like several maps, and the newer one actually shows that, well, there's a Nasuno Shinkansen, this double-decker one. This one operates from Tokyo to Koriyama. Just the station before Fukushima, so you will not be seeing these guys driving either. Now up next is the good old original bullet train, the 0 series Shinkansen. This does not operate on the lines that we have. Also, is the red on the tracks the overhead wire? Yes, it is. Yay, C4, yeah. Volume is good now, thanks for fixing it. Alright, nice, no problem. So yeah, this is a 16 car set. They also run in 12 car sets. Now this thing over here is the 0 series as well, but a little bit newer version of them. Better sounds as well. And the last one that's in the depot, at least the one that spawned, is the 800 series Shinkansen. Now this one does not run on this line either. This one serves the southern part of the country. But yeah, we just have it here because, well, I love it. But yeah, generally when we actually get to like building all the lines, if we get to building all the lines for this route, then yeah, I'm actually going to separate these trains to run on their respective lines along the route. But until then, I'm gonna make it so that everything can run everywhere. So yeah, the Shiro series. Yes, we're using a different track on the main line for the junction out of the yard, because the ones with the concrete tiles like this do not have procedural junctions, whereas these do. That's why. So yeah, and there isn't really that many procedural junctions in the route, so I believe Mac version should be able to run this without major problems as well. Well, let's get to some other toys now. So this is the Yellow Doctor. This Shinkansen is basically the maintenance Shinkansen. least that's how I would describe it. You can see them running up and around. They're stretching away and through. So yeah, I'm actually gonna run is more on the other tracks through here as well. Just to get more traffic going and spaced out. I have quite a lot of the Shinkansen consists saved. Some lines which some of them which will never drive in this area if we actually do the stuff that we want to. I'm just all of them out so that get this done. Not cross that, okay. Where's that guy? That guy is there. What I can do here is this. For the time being. And get this guy going first. I really like the sound. This is the 500 series. I love them the most probably. Alongside the N700 and of course my best 800. So let's actually check the heading of these guys so that I can correct them. Needed. Yep. That is generally how the traffic will be looking. I'm gonna be trying and setting them on the correct tracks as well. I spawned this guy past the signal, so he's gonna go way too far. But yeah, I don't really want to run them on the very outside track, because then I would have to go between the places quite a lot to change the junctions. So I'm gonna be running them on these tracks at maximum if I want to diverge the traffic a little bit, or if I want to make good scenes of them just running around, I can just get down onto the other junctions and switch those around. And so let's try get this guy out. That guy follows, that guy is there. Generally spacing out the traffic in the beginning takes some time, but yeah. It's the 800. That's another N700. I'm not going to place that because that has quite bad brakes. But I'm gonna place down that guy. And this guy. And yeah, there's just so many trains. Might as well just talk about all of them, yeah. Look at this. So I like the ones that are actually able to stop in time. They're welcome the most. Just like the E5 and E6 together. And yeah, there's a lot of types. I'm gonna set up this last one. And then I'm just gonna clear them all out while I read the chat. So, I thought that might be the case. Yeah, this This should be no issue for me. Alright, nice. Dr. Yellow. Don't you mean Dr. Yellow? Or was it Yellow Dr. Dello? Fuck's sake. I believe it was just Yellow Doctor instead. Yes, that was it. I really like the 500 series. It looks like it wants to sew the air together because of how pointy it is. Yes! The nose is just literally point. I think it's trying to make a point. Yeah. It's gonna be a nice place. The thing like with this is that it will have to be perfectly spaced out because this is 3 tracks with several very different lines and trains merging together. Is this guy stuck? Oh yeah, okay. As long as none of them crash to each other, it's fine. They're actually managing to stop in time. I'm happy about that. So let's try and get all of the Shinkansen traffic on the main line now that it's been expanded so much. But yeah, there's still quite a lot of side traffic as well. I really like this part the most because like the train's just emerging from here. Just imagine you're just casually leaving the station when the E4 just emerges next to you from the hole there. Nice and slowly rising up. I love this. I'm gonna be preferring the Shinkansen on the outside lines. Hoping that these guys can stop in time. This is the 300 series. I like that. One way of putting it or pointing it. Yes, definitely. But it's generally nice to just like sit in the station and just watch the trains drive. And yeah, the station was quite a work as well. You can just see just how much I've done to it. I love this. Working elevators, working escalators. I just need people on the platform. So. But absolutely no sway. Camera view will be basically locked into cab view. So yeah. I also really like the 300 series. Yeah, it looks really good. I don't know why, but it looks like a Toyota with the lights. I like it. I just like all of these trains. One of the N700s. Oh. Oh yeah, this guy is right behind him. So there's still 2 more trains that I need to fit onto the main line somehow. But there you can see it's getting clogged up a lot, but it should be able to space out eventually. I'm just running a lot of trains in here at the moment. Actually, out. Let's get this guy out. Damn, I think it looks like a hawk's beak. Yeah, that as well. I like it. Mind you, they're not running at full speed right now. Alright, so what is the next train that's coming in here? Joff. Jeff, what are you driving? Oh, that's the E2. Just to spice things up. Gonna send that guy there. Gonna be fun. Imagine being dispatcher on this. Would be quite interesting. Hello, Svedar, welcome. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, I did rename the junctions. Are the tall buildings in the background splines or objects? They're objects. All of them. This is the Pikachu Express. Or well, Pokemon Express in general. What is the next train on the line? Oh, the N700. One of the many variations of it. Alright, so basically what I did now is send the E2 onto sideline. I'm gonna jump to it as soon as this guy leaves track here. Good. Right. That. Alright, let's jump to the E2. As it speeds out of the station. Are they groups or single buildings that were copy pasted? Single buildings that were copy pasted. Imagine the Zero Series Shinkansen beer large lock. Oh god, no. Just a lot of copy pasta. So in the cabs you can see the maximum speed, the current speed, the time and the power setting. It's really nice. Do you think it will stop in time? Yeah, it's going to stop in time. No, it's not. I don't want him to be waiting for 2 minutes. This is like generally the problem with the AI. You like need to figure out the speeds that they need to travel at in order to not shoot a red light. But it's nice to like watch them like this. Pika pika! Yeah. Why do you like sound barrier so much? You can't see the scenery, especially when the camera is gonna be locked to the cab. Yeah, exactly, that's the point. That's literally the point. Oh shit. Yeah, the 300 series don't have exactly brakes. Or do it? No, I don't. I wanna help it out. So some trains don't exactly have the brakes to stop in time, so yeah, I'm like really like right now like going through them all and figuring out what actually does have the brakes and what doesn't. Right, let's run more things onto the outer line. What's the next train in the line to arrive? These guys crashed. So we are gone now. What about you? Are you alive? You are alive somehow. Yeah, you have crashed. You're a goner now. That's the 500 there, right? No, that's the others. Okay. Let's diverge you then. You should be alright with this. And on the other side, over here, who is gonna be next in the line? Yeah, you actually do have brakes. So let's do this. You can just see the gradient over there. That's amazing. So basically the entire point is to not see the scenery because I'm lazy to do the roads and stuff in the cities. Hey, if you haven't noticed, you have a 140 speed limit. Yeah, you see the braking now in action. It's not nice. But what is nice is some of the lighting that I've done. Let me check this side out. Right, so the train has passed the junction. I'm going to get that in. What did you do? How did you collide? Are you really that stupid? I have to fix this guy now. Repairs of the Shinkansen. Pop. Is he at speed? He wants to. Pop. Alright, good, good, good. And you continue your schedule, you go there. Generally just running a lot of them behind each other is not a good idea. But I did play around with the environment settings. So let's the sun is shining. That's all I can say about that. There's Nicholas in here. The 0 series cab, which is not exactly the nicest, but it works. But yeah, the sunset generally is nice to get. The cityscape. I'm happy how that one turned out. But the morning is also beautiful. Just firstly getting glimpse of Disney's. Yeah. Just like firstly getting glimpse of the sun like there. Color and then boom. Just bright and sunny day up ahead. That turns into nice orange evening. I love this. If you're not gonna be getting overtaken, oh, we might. Let's get you running a bit faster, shall we? But you can see they have actual tilting as well. But with the sound barriers, you don't even see the lovely trees, not even the treetops. You actually do see the treetops. Like, yeah, that's like the thing. I just wanted to like isolate the system. Do not have to. So yeah, there's gonna be scenery after when the Shinkansen is elevated, I believe. Yeah, definitely there's gonna be scenery for that. Did this guy actually like slow down in order to stop, or? No. He wants to, but he cannot. Please be fast, please be fast, please be fast, please be fast. No, it's not going to work out. Or is it? Or is it? Yes, it is. Oh my god. You lucky, lucky bastard. I hope you're proud of yourself. But yeah, as we then go into the mountains here. I actually wanna see the climb here. So yeah, that's why you have to be careful with what trains you put where. Because not all of them can actually break. You know? There are really no trains on that loop there. Interesting, okay. So that's why I still have to check the brakes of some of them. See, the Railstar doesn't have problems. The E5 and E6 do not have problems, so that's also good. But yeah, some of them definitely have some problems with braking distances, so I really have to be careful of what I put where. This guy in particular, look at it. That's a nice 0 series asset that you have there. Would be a shame if something like this ran through the red. Am I right? Thank you. Am I right? Oh, maybe you do see them a little. Yes, you do. Oh, will there be Mount Fuji? Well, that's below Tokyo, so not now. But if this project will get somewhere, then yes. Alright, I have to drink. My throat is literally killing me now. Oh hey, when did I mute myself? That's ah. Will there be Mount Fuji? No. Wanna play Project Cars after stream? I would have to install the game firstly. So yeah. I actually didn't expect you to buy the game, like right off the bat. So yeah, I'm gonna have to install the game firstly, but we can play tomorrow maybe. Cause yeah, the game is gonna take a lot of time for me to download. Cause haha, internet go brr. So yeah. I muted for drinking, yeah, and I forgot to unmute myself. Brilliant. Um Wait, your throat is literally killing you right now. Yes. Why is the braking distance of older trains so much higher than the new ones? Because the brakes brake faster. Yes. Oh man, brilliant. But yeah, I like have to try and figure out which trains actually brake and which trains don't. Excuse you! Are you? You're a pathetic failure. Delete yourself. Actually, the guy behind you is a pathetic failure. Where is he? I bet he's stopped on the line somewhere. No? Oh, this guy is stopped though. Can I do this? I can, yeah. Alright, yeah, this guy should be able to stop in time. If the sound ever comes back. And like generally everything. That's like the thing. I'm gonna have to like split up some splines into shorter sections. This is what happens when you have too long splines. The game just fails to load. Or just takes to load way too long. So yeah. God, I fucking love this. This is nice. But that happened already as well. Yes, the same position. Yep, deja vu. Or huh? What are you doing here? Oh yeah, that's right. You're a failure. Go. Actually, no, I'm stupid. You were here already. I set your track up. Yeah, that's right. I didn't set these guys up. Can you slow in time? Yes. Gonna set that track that way, even though there's no trains. Huh, nice. What's the next one coming up there? Oh, it's gonna be the zero series on the outer tracks. Okay. What's the on the tracks now? Oh, the other zero series. Okay, that's fucking brilliant. But yeah, I generally just love like sitting in this area and switching the junctions around. Just, heh. I love it. You could change the engine specs of the trains with no brakes out with those of trains with brakes. Yeah, you're right. That could work. But I would have to exchange the engine spec on every single car because all the cars are engines. Because haha, fuck you, that's why. Set the game. So yeah. I would have to literally change the engine spec on all the trains. And all the cars. Which would just, yeah, take too long to do. Hey, Fujitama Station. I love this. I could just like sit here watching this constantly in a loop, just mesmerized. I'm not gonna send any more trains onto the outer line actually. What I'm gonna do is hold on, where's the junction? There's the junction. Pop out of the map view. Go back in. And I'm just gonna have them run on the main line. Is there anything fast approaching? No. Okay, switch the junction. Although, did I just doom myself? Yes, I did. I fucking doomed myself. Oh fuck. Oh shit. No. But this guy has brakes. Ha, yes. But does the guy behind him have brakes? Oh, the guy behind him is none. Okay. Okay, good. I didn't doom myself. Good. That was close. You could make a rail fanning session there. TS style. Yes, definitely. Would be so much fun. Just like imagine like a security camera footage from like this angle and the train's just passing by. Man, that would be so nice. The default sounds, I don't know, I actually like them on these trains. Like I would hate to have those default sounds on any other train, but over here this is amazing. Right, there's nothing on the outer line anymore. No, okay, fine. Everything's on the inside lines. This guy is about to enter the city. Actually, let's watch him pass by. Like, there's something about this original train, just like, mm. I'm gonna have to fix the super elevation there. What went wrong? Hold on. Because the tracks turn a little bit left before they turn right, meaning that the super elevation gets a little bit confused there. I'm gonna have to give a little peek on that, try and get that to a fix. But yeah, shouldn't be too hard. This 4-track section over here is gonna be quite interesting to just generally like watch. Is there anything fast approaching, or is there anything approaching fast? No. The Zero Series looks like an aeroplane without wings, which is actually what it's supposed to look like. Yes. A bullet. Fuck off, you beak. A bullet. I love it. And just like the thing, when they were designing the Shinkansen, they weren't taking a gamble on like a new technology. Oh, this guy is dead. Or is he? Oh no, he's not. Okay, good. And they weren't taking a gamble on like, you know, on a new technology. They were using already existing technology and making it better. That was 320 kilometers per hour. And again. No, it's not 320. Hey, it's speeding up. God, I love this. It's amazing. Well, anyways, so the stream time has basically passed. So yeah, it's past 10. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Uh, remember to follow. Remember to subscribe. By the way, did you manage to upload the TSTGV session yet? Nah, I didn't. I'm gonna try again today, like after the stream, and hopefully I will manage to get it up. If not, then I don't know how other way I could possibly give it to you so that you can drive it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a go again. So yeah, Thanks for the stream. I did. Thank you. It was a nice stream. Yeah, I'm happy that you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely go out and subscribe and follow Kango Fango and Shreddice. Shreddice streams trains, road building and driving, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 campaign. He also does a game development, and he also streams Train Simulator. As he said, tomorrow's gonna be Train Simulator stream, so go check him out, definitely. Definitely also go check out Kango Fango. He does OMSI 2 map building and driving. He's working on a British themed fictional map. So yeah, definitely go check that out if you're into that. And he also is building a Welsh themed route in trains. Also kind of like fictional. So if you are into that, definitely go check that out. So yeah, I think he also wanted to do a little bit of like modeling in Blender, but I'm not really sure on that. Either way, thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed. And yeah, I'm just gonna let this run for the last ride around the route. And then I'm gonna end it. So yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy the last few minutes.